So what we're going to do is review what's in one of the other external packs on the outside. These are all pieces that I need to get at usually a lot quicker. It's not going to be very deep inside the pack, okay? So cordage cannot have enough cordage in regard, I mean, as much as you can carry. And this is the number one thing you should do. Every pepper knows it, is the 550 paracord. I usually carry up to 500 feet of this stuff in the pack, but you can see it has 7 individual strands that can be used for binding stuff together, to fishing, you name it. It has a million uses. Plus, it is so strong. It's lightweight. If I had to choose from having a big rappelling rope or thousands of feet of this, I'll take this every single day of the week, all right? Another one that is available everywhere are these little zip ties. Man, you just can't go anywhere for me without these zip ties. And I have a lot of different lengths and sizes of this. I even have the really large ones that are used for air conditioners. I mean, they're like this thick. It's kind of buried in the bottom. And those I would use for, binding people's hands together. This could do it as well, but really for putting shelters together really quick, this works well. And of course, everyone knows duct tape, what it can do. I mean, you can't beat a good roll of duct tape. So cordage, definitely have to have it. Now, going back to containers, so you have cordage. Containers are really important for carrying water, cooking food. I recommend really just a few of them. Starting off with your canteen. There's a lot of different versions that are out there for carrying water. I prefer to have the old GI aluminum canteen. It, for me, does, it holds a pretty good amount of liquid, but it allows me to have the resource of being able, if I didn't have anything else and I had this and I needed to boil it, you're able to boil this. If you had the plastic one, obviously you can't heat that up. So this has that ability, so if I have to sterilize my water, I could sit this next to the fire. I would take the top off, obviously, because it's plastic, but you could heat it up and boil the water, have your tea, sterilize the water. So having this works out. But nothing beats a good GI cup. I'm not talking the thin tin one. This is a really solid GI cup. All right, so spend the extra dollars, get one that's a little bit more solid. Again, great for sterilizing the water, cooking your food. I also went the extra mile and got the little stovetop. So you have your small fuel source, whether you buy a fuel source or it's just a whole bunch of twigs, you can put this over there, be able to heat up your water. Also, I utilize this, probably more than anything, is just a nice heavy-duty stainless steel pot. For me, this is just the right size. I've seen guys with a lot bigger ones, but out in the woods when you're rehydrating dehydrated food or cooking up a stew or boiling water, this is really all you need. The only thing that I haven't done to this is drill holes and put a long chain so that I can take it on and off the campfire. But the great thing with this is they kind of all fit down inside each other. And then this guy fits inside. So it's a nice compact little cooking, kitchen, whatever. But this does everything that you need out there in the woods. Now going on to, I guess, the edge or the blade. Everyone in the survival business or industry, everyone has their own preferences, but you have to know that everyone has the same essential tools. Everyone's going to have their own design that they like, and I've had a lot of knives, and it's gone the gamut, but I've kind of settled on a few that I've went out there and tested that I really like. Haven't done any official reviews, but I've read enough reviews and then used them myself to know that there's certain ones that I like the most. This one is obviously the Gerber LMF. Love this one. I like the butt of this. It's a full tang version. The blade's about 6 inches. I like the serration. Some guys don't. I like it. but it's got the lanyard holes to be able to turn this into a spear. It's just the right size for working around the camp. The grip is phenomenal. It just feels great in the hand, but you can't go anywhere out in the woods without one of these. So this is one that I like the most. It's got a great carry case, sharpener, and enough ways to attach it to whatever you're doing, whether you want it up here or on the hip. There's a million ways that you can carry this Gerber knife, but this by far is my #1 tool. Behind that, I've got the Leathermate. This is the Sturgis version. I really like this one. Actually, this is by far the sharpest blade I've ever owned in my life. From the factory, the sharpest. I can shave with this one. It's amazingly sharp. But it has all the uses. You know, for me, taking out splinters to cutting wire to sawing stuff. I mean, the saw on this is incredible. I can't even tell you how many times I've used this. My dog had tons of little burrs in him. I wound up giving him an entire haircut with the little scissors that are on here. So there's a lot of uses for the multi-tool. I like to have a small flip knife that I use the Smith & Wesson little rescue knife. It's a great little knife. It has a seatbelt cutter and a window breaker on it, but it's just really the right size. I love the Tonto tip. It's a lot stronger than a regular one, so one hand usage is pretty quick. I like this one a lot. And I do have the Gerber backup for this little auto knife. It's pretty good for small work, but I like to have backups to the backups. So that takes care of the extra blades. So put this to the side and kind of dig into what we have in the middle. Let's go through what's in the very last pouch, the outside pouch. Again, something that I need to get at real quick, and that would be protection. And that would be in the form of my Gore-Tex camouflage jacket. I can't tell you how warm this guy is. It's amazingly warm, waterproof, windproof. I also go in and pre-pack all the pockets. Again, backups to the backups, another real thin compass. I have some survival tablets in here. So again, if I ever get separated from this and I just have this, I at least have a few items. There's a small knife in here as well. So real important. In there's also this. I don't want to sound like a Sham Wow commercial, but shams are phenomenal. I tell you what, in the woods, in the whatever, you're going to be able to utilize this, you know, to soak up water, dew from from the grass. This will soak up all the dew that's on all the plants, and then you can wring it out to use it for hydration. Taking a shower, it dries really fast, taking the sweat off of you. It's amazing. These things are really durable. I usually keep a few of them, but they're also bright colored, so they're great for signaling if you're in a tight spot and you want to get noticed. This helps out a lot. I also have a vinyl ripstop poncho. It obviously can be utilized as a tent, but to keep the water off myself, my pack, it's a necessity. It's a must-have. So also in this outside pocket, I do have a Polar Shield survival sleeping bag. It's a little bit more than just your regular blankets that they make out of this. This actually, you get inside it and it can go up over around your head. We field tested this in January out here in the desert. It gets really cold, and I used my boy. He was the one who volunteered for this, and he was sweating at the end of the night. So this thing really does work. It weighs nothing, and it's durable enough, I think, to use multiple times. It's not like a sleeping bag. It's not going to take the place of this, but in an emergency, this thing will definitely save your life. I mean, I can't speak highly enough of that. So, getting into the pack itself, what I typically have on top are my boots. So, normally you would think you'd have those on you, but this is a bug out bag. You may be coming home from work and you don't have your shoes and everything all ready to go, so I like to have everything inside it. So you can't bug out. You can't survive unless you have a real good, proper pair of shoes. For me, I chose these because they're lightweight but yet still durable. I live in Arizona, so having the heavy-duty water-resistant thing is really not my priority. It's lightweight, breathable, fast is really where I'm all about. Inside, I have 3 pairs of socks, wool socks and cotton socks, so I have it in there. It helps it hold the form, and I know my socks are there. Also, in here I have, this is a roll of the same thing, Gore-Tex pants, so I have full protection. And inside here, without me unrolling it, I have a pair of, they're not cotton, they're actually kind of a ripstop material pants with 3 different light cotton weight t-shirts. For me, they're all camouflage. They're just really dark in colors. Everyone says, you can go military, go full cami, but to me, I'd rather go just solid colors, so that if I did have to go back into the civilization, you're not going to be picked out as saying, oh, you have all this digicam, you're the camouflage guy, you might have something that I want. So it's just, for me, more of an urban camouflage. I do have one of these, a Shimon. I think most guys that are out there that have been in the forces or out in the woods, I can't even start to tell you how much this is an important piece of equipment. From gathering firewood to berries to keeping the sun off your face, taking the sweat away. For me, there's dust storms. This thing is invaluable. I'm not going to go and put it on, but there's videos that show you how to put this on. But a Shimog is an amazing tool. People underestimate it, but it's an important part for me. I don't know how this got in here. Spork, can't go anywhere without your spork. That should be in my tin, so it's just in this wrong spot. But lightweight plastic, love those. Also, you're going to have, because at night, even in the summertime at night, it tends to get cold, so I do have a wool cap and an extra backup pair of wool gloves. I think probably one of the most important things in this pack, next to the water filtration is number 1, is also close second to that would be your first aid equipment. You can't survive unless you're self-medicating yourself. If you've been injured, you got to be able to take care of yourself or your partner, whoever is with you. This is an M3 medic kit. We have it on our site. There's bigger ones, there's smaller ones. I tend to go a little more overboard on the medical side because you just never know. In this pack, I've put in here a small surgical set, so if I had to perform some type of surgery, it's there. I wouldn't want me to operate on myself, but it's there, it's available. I also have a quick clot stop, so spray this on open wounds, that helps. Medic bags have come a long way. Another quick clot, I have a few of those inside here. And I won't bring everything out, but suffices to say, I have in these 3 packs more than what is necessary. Also have surgical masks in case we're in an area that I gotta keep the bugs out. Probably every survival guy's stitch super glue. It's pretty amazing stuff. Any little open wounds, that will put it right back together. So with these basic tools, you're going to be able to get yourself patched up and be able to make it to the next stage, wherever that might be, to rescue yourself or to be your own first responder. So it's real important. Spend the money, I tell you what, you're not going to save your life unless you have the tools. And this is one of those things that really, in a survival situation, this stuff goes first. Everybody wants this. This is the thing that people overlook. The one thing I don't have in here, which will go in, is some antibiotics, and I also have some numbing creams, so you can spray it on to numb the wound so that you're able to stitch it up if that were to be the case. I don't know many people that want to be a Rambo and do it, grit their teeth and make it through it. So that's a very important piece of the puzzle right there. Another part that's right up at the top is a weapon. You know, to each his own. I have quite a few different ones. This is the one, this is a Smith & Wesson 9mm that I keep in my pack. I don't rely on that, but it, you know, strapped to my leg is a deterrent just visually when you're trying to bug out. I think there's a lot of other weapons that I think are better suited for survival. My Ruger 10/22 probably is the very best one there. I can carry a lot of ammo. When I bug out, I do have a small pack that does have that rifle in it, also another longer range rifle. But this is really last ditch. You know, this is the last resort. Is this sidearm? So it's important to have one. Just everybody's choice. I also have a Taurus Judge that, you know, I think is probably one of the most versatile survival weapons out there. It's phenomenal. This I probably miss, you know, 2 out of 3 times. If you're in a stressed out situation, if you don't practice all the time, Taurus Judge, you get it every time. So the reason I don't have it in this pack is because I usually have it at the house. So this one is kind of a throwaway. I'd rather have it in here, so just in case. All right. Now let's get into the most important thing, which is up at the top. Of course, I have that canteen, but you got to be able to filter your water. All right. So a lot of different ways of filtering water, and I try to carry them all just in case. All right. So, again, going on the rule of 3s to back ourselves up, I have these small little carbon filters. These little guys, they go on the inside the Kroval. You know, this is the little carbon filters, straws. So, last ditch effort, I have that. This is another survival straws fixture. I like it. It works pretty good. I've used it one time. This is the Frontier Pro. Of course, you have your pills that you can put inside to treat your water. But if any of you have ever tasted the water after you put this in there, it's really nasty. It'll save your life, but you're not going to like what you're tasting at the end, but it's there. I don't know how this got in here. Shot of liquor. That's in case you need. That should be in my first aid kit, but you know, it's a good barter tool. Another great product that I found. I know it doesn't look like much, but this is really 12 ounces of water / meal that'll save your life. It's a water system through HTI. You can get it through GearUpCenter. It's a hydro pack, and this is obviously the orange flavor. You also have grape and a couple of other flavors, but how it works is through forward osmosis. You basically, I can carry, there's 12 packs in here, so this is 12 12-ounce drinks. Try to carry 12 12-ounce bottles of water and feel the weight compared to this. All right, it's all about weight and how much you're willing to hump in and hump out. I'll no problem carry hundreds of these, and when I get to a water source, no matter what it is, any water, anywhere, even if it's pond scum water, I just throw this pack in there, and there's 2 different sides. One's kind of the filter side. You can feel there's a different one, there's a shiny side. You put the filter side down into the water, and 8 hours later you come back and this thing has literally ballooned up to be like a little kid's juice box. Inside here there's little straws that you would just pop in there and suck out the juice. The cool thing about this is it's not just giving you hydration to save your life, but it's also filled with electrolytes, potassium, and calories, about 120 calories per one of these pouches. So it's all about calories in and calories out. When you're out in the woods, you're expending. This helps put back liquids, electrolytes, fluids, stuff that you need to survive. So with this, I'm getting a lot. So I would, when I get to a campsite and I have a water source and I have to boil water, I throw a few of these in there so the next morning when I'm ready to go, I've got some great juice boxes to take with me or to drink on the spot. But the great thing about it is it tastes really good. It's like a Gatorade on steroids. It tastes phenomenal. Your kids will drink it, they'll love it, and they'll hydrate themselves, okay? This, you have to force them to drink this stuff because it's so nasty. Now, along the same concept, these are just 12 ounces. You can do the same filtration system through forward osmosis with this pack. Now, this thing is going to hold, it takes about 6 hours to filter the water, but this is hold about 120 liters of water. This is about the size of your Camel pack. And the way that you use this is the red one, you open it up and you pour in the nasty water, and this whole thing would be black. It looks nasty. But then in the top part, you would pour in your syrup. You squeeze in the syrup, put the top back on, and there's an internal filter that basically will filter all that nasty water. When you pour this out, all you're going to pour out is perfect clear water. Again, with the hydration and the calories and the electrolytes and everything in it. So with this amount right here, I am able to refill this about a dozen times. So I can get a dozen of these filled with water, filtered. So the thing is, with this system, there's no calories burnt. You know, you're not pumping it and working the filter system to be able to make purified water. It does the work for you. There's other ones that are like this that are even bigger, which I have. They call it the Expedition. And that one has even more of the membrane that filters the water, and you're able to make even more water. So this is the stuff that military uses. Any liquid, even urine, would work going in here. That's how good this filter is. Not recommended, but hey, if you're in the desert and you have no other source, you're not going to be Bear Grylls and just go ahead and drink it, yeah? This will work a lot better for you. Flavor it, take out all the impurities. This thing really works well. Again, it's light. You know, imagine filling this 12 times trying to carry it, where you know all you're doing is carrying this little bit of liquid gel. I've had guys ask me, well, what if you run out of gel? Good question. Any kind of sugar molecule, because what happens is a water molecule wants to get to a sugar molecule. So what it does is through forward osmosis, it's nature taking the engine. This is the engine, the powder, and it provides the power to make this happen. So you're not using any calories to filter your water. Plus, nothing ever breaks. You can't break this. You know, I've had those hand pump filters, the really nice ones, and the first time that I went to use it, because it's been in my pack out here in the sun, the plastic got really brittle, and the first time I went to use it, it snapped and broke. All right, this is not going to break on you. So real important, water filtration. All right, so this is number one.